In October of 2015, I went through a battery of tests because they thought I was a pretty good candidate for prostate cancer. And yet I didn't give it any credence. I really didn't think much about it because I've always been so healthy. And yet, the day my life stopped on a dime was November 19th, 2015. It's the day my girlfriend and I went into the doctor's office and got sat down in a small, quaint room, and they delivered the atom bomb on my life that said I had highly aggressive prostate cancer, and I had to act quickly, and I had to make a bunch of decisions, followed by more tests and more decisions, without much time to process. And I'll never forget the drive home. Total silence until we got to a stoplight. And I remember us looking at each other in the eye and clasping our hands and tears just starting to run down our face. Again, without saying a word. And then driving the rest of the way home in a silence. Later that day, I had to make the phone call to my son, which I will also never forget. He lives in Pittsburgh and he's 20 years old, and you would think, well, at 20, you know, they're kind of adult and mature and able to intellectually parse and digest things. At least that's what you tell yourself. And I'll never forget hearing him kind of break on the phone and realizing I wasn't there to look him in the eye. I wasn't there to put my hand on his shoulder or give him a hug and tell him it was going to be all right. And I myself didn't know if it was going to be all right. And wading through that conversation, at the end, hanging up the phone, realizing I have no idea what's next, and feeling the absolute powerlessness and a bit of loneliness in that moment because you don't know what's next.